The moment I saw her handwriting on the hospital bracelet, my chest went cold. "We decided on her name," it said, and my fingers trembled as I read the words. "She'll carry his last name." I blinked, thinking it was some cruel joke, but the nurse's eyes were sympathetic and matter-of-fact. My wife, Emily, was smiling beside our newborn daughter, and for the first time in our marriage, I didn't recognize the woman I had loved for 10 years. What did you just say?" I managed to choke out, my voice barely above a whisper. Emily's smile didn't falter. "I thought it would be meaningful," she said, her tone light, almost flippant. "Her father, you know from before." I stared at her, trying to make sense of her words. My heart pounded like a drum, each beat screaming betrayal. "You mean her biological father?" My voice cracked, but she shook her head, as if my question was absurd. No, not that. I thought giving her his name would honor him a little," she said, reaching out to touch my arm. Her hand felt foreign, and I recoiled without meaning to. My mind raced back over months of small, seemingly innocent decisions that suddenly took on a sinister weight. There were the late nights at work, the vague excuses when I asked about her phone, the sudden enthusiasm for reconnecting with old friends I'd never met. I had dismissed them, told myself I was being paranoid. And now, faced with his hospital bracelet, the thin veil of trust one had built our life upon crumbled. I left the room for a moment, pacing the sterile hallways, the smell of antiseptic mixing with the bitter taste of betrayal on my tongue. Questions burned in me, each one sharper than the last. Who else knows? How long has this been going on? And why? When I returned, Emily's eyes met mine with something I hadn't seen before. Defiance, maybe, or just the casual ease of someone who believes their secret is untouchable. "I thought you'd understand," she said softly, but I heard no plea, no regret, only the echo of lies. Over the following weeks, I became a shadow in my own home, watching, listening, searching for the invisible threads that connected her to another man. Every text she typed, every smile at a phone notification, made my stomach knot. And then one evening, the evidence appeared in the quietest, most devastating form, a photograph hidden in the back of a drawer. Emily, laughing in a cafe with a man I didn't know, her hand resting on his shoulder in a way that should have been mine. My hands shook as I flipped through more pictures, dinners, weekends, whispered conversations caught in still frames. I confronted her, my voice raw. "Emily, what is this? Who is he?" Her expression flickered, a momentary crack in the mask. "It's complicated," she said, almost rehearsed. "I didn't want to hurt you." Hurt? Hurt barely touched it. This was a chasm, a betrayal so intimate, so absolute, that the foundation of everything we'd built shook beneath me. I didn't respond. I couldn't. The anger, the grief, the disbelief collided inside me, leaving me numb. Instead, I did what I'd spent weeks planning in silence. I remained calm, controlled, because I knew any rash words would fracture more than just my heart. I wanted her to understand, truly understand, the gravity of what she had done. The next day, at our daughter's christening, I made the announcement. My voice was steady, almost serene, as every friend and family member turned toward us, curious. "Her name," I said, locking eyes with Emily, "will carry my name." There was a pause, a stunned silence that stretched like eternity. She opened her mouth, but I raised a hand. No debates, no arguments. This child belongs to both of us, and she will not carry the mark of someone who was never her father in spirit or in presence. Emily's face drained of color, her hands trembling slightly. I could see the fury, the shame, the realization that her secret, her betrayal, would no longer control the narrative. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't yell. I just claimed what was ours, what had been threatened with quiet authority. And in that moment, as I held my daughter in my arms, feeling the weight of her tiny heartbeat against mine, a strange clarity settled over me. I loved Emily once, truly with all I had, but the truth had torn that love apart. Betrayal, I realized, was not always dramatic. Sometimes it whispered, slow and lethal, in the choices that seemed small but carried entire worlds. I walked away that evening, My daughter safe, my heart fractured but resolute. Emily stayed behind, silent, confronted by her own reflection. I didn't know if we would survive this. But one thing was certain. She had underestimated the power of a man who loved not blindly, but with eyes wide open. And in that quiet triumph, as the first stars of night shimmer above, I let myself hope that even amidst betrayal, love could still protect what mattered most.